Welcome back to Malamic Art. So today I have Rite in the Rain copy paper. Now I wanted to try this because it says you can put it through water and it'll be fine. And for me that means that I could probably use it out in the field with a plein air sketch or whatever. So I wanted to get a little pack to see what it would be like, and as soon as I bought this I found out they have tan and like a gray color. So I would have been better off buying the ones that were toned. But since I have this, let's go ahead and see what you can do with it. Okay, so first of all, I want to let you know a little bit about the company. I have their website right here. So I found out that they actually sell cardstock in their paper. So you could buy 100-pound paper. That would probably work better than this if you're going to do plein air. So whoops, I didn't know that till just now, but I had clicked on their new products and that's what came up, and I was like, oh, that's what I should have bought. So they do a lot of notebooks for people that are in the field, and they have this little write-up on how this paper is recyclable. It's all sourced responsibly, and they have recycle here, Rite green. So, and their backstory is they've been doing it for about 100 years, using some kind of soy-based resin to coat the paper, which is also supposed to be an environmentally friendly process. They only let off steam, no gases or whatever. So anyway, that's another thing that made me want to try this. So I'm going to put these through a little bit of a test here. Just want to let you know that this copy paper was about $27 for 200 sheets, and they're 20-pound paper, 75 GSM, so when I got it initially, I decided to go ahead and put it through like a battery of my own kind of tests. And they say copier because if you use your regular printer at home, it doesn't work as well. And I found that when I swiped my finger through it, it smudged. So you can definitely print an image, but it's not going to, it'll bead up a little bit and it'll smudge if you touch it right away. So here is the things that I've done with, when I tried watercolor from the tube, it just completely beaded up. And then I tried gouache. It actually stayed quite well. And this is water-based gouache. This is Prismacolor Colorase color pencils, works great. Bic permanent marker works great. Of course, the Sharpie works great. Posca pen did work, but it almost seemed to a little bit resist it, but it works just fine. And this is a Jelly Roll pen. You've seen the white ones before. Ballpoint, great. HB pencil, perfect. Charcoal pencil, pretty much as you would expect, still kind of smudges. Micron was a little bit difficult, and the Staedtler pigment liner also did do a little smudge. This is the Pentel brush pen, so it did bead up. And this is the India ink. So the India ink did bead up, but actually it did stay. So it's on there. So moving over here, this spot right here has acrylic gesso on it that I painted on there. And I went over it with some oil paint. And as you see, the oil did not go through, but when I did the oil patch here, it did go through. So if you use the gesso, you'll be fine. What's in this little area right here is this watercolor ground. And watercolor ground seals your surface. Same with the gesso. This is a gesso. Acrylic gesso. Oh, there goes my pencils. Hold on a second. Okay, we're back in shape. Okay, so after trying the watercolor on the watercolor ground, it works just fine. So you could easily use this paper with the watercolor ground. This one's by Daniel Smith, watercolor ground. It's basically just basic gesso. It does have a little tooth to it, so it will make your paint look a little grainy, just to let you know. What worked best is the acrylic paint. I actually think it's great. There's a nice gloss to it. That's depending on if you like it or not. The gouache has a very nice matte finish. Let's see, I think that's about it. Oh, here, this was like a pastel pencil. I don't actually use pastels, but I did have some pastel pencil. And you can smudge this around a little bit after you apply it. What I haven't done yet is erasing. So I have a kneaded eraser here and just your standard white eraser. So let's see if this will just smudge it or can we lift. So it looks like this one is going to smudge. So that's the pencil and this is the charcoal, which just basically smudges it more. This is the kneaded eraser. I'm going to go for this side first. Barely picks it up. So that's something to think about if you're using pencil. And I could probably even try to work it off. You could probably get down to the paper, but it won't come off very well. So for pencil people, this is not going to work, like unless you're using are going to be going over the pencil. But okay, so there's something that we've learned. So okay, I'm going to switch to this. This is just a cut piece of paper that I put in a little bin, and I want to pour water on it just to kind of see what happens when we immerse the paper. Is it going to soak it up or is it going to repel it? Oh, it's stuck to the bottom. Oh, it's completely dry. Wow, that's so cool. I haven't tried that yet. So there you have it. That's really neat. And the next one I wanted to try, actually leave it in there to see how long we can do that for. So the next thing I did was crumple it up really, really in a nice little ball. And I wanted to see if doing that makes the crinkles more open to maybe water-based media or something. So I got it really crinkled and really roughed up. It's got a little, I don't know if you've ever heard of beeswax cloths where you can wrap your fruit in them, and this kind of reminds me of it. It's got that feel to it, kind of like a wax. Okay. Oh, so you can rip it, by the way. So I'm going to take, let's see what I've got here. I'm going to take some water paint, and I'm going to see if those cracks are vulnerable now. And I have to say no, they're not. Because I can wipe this right off. Let's look at it really close after I'm done with this. They say you can actually put it in your wash, and it won't. But you'll notice there's a little bit of weakness there. Just for triesies, not really a big deal. But let's see what this is doing. Well, I noticed it is letting the water in, kind of, because it feels kind of wet. But let's see what happens when, I don't know, let's say a pencil maybe. So you see, maybe you can't immerse this paper for too long. It's water, let's see, So is it water resistant or not? Oh, I think they have a waterproof one. So you can still work with it after it being immersed. That's really cool. So here is the front and here's the back, and they have what's called Duracopy. So it's a waterproof, synthetic, tear-proof, and heat-resistant stock made for extreme conditions. Why you would need that, I don't know. They're saying that people in agriculture, environmental, geological, public safety, recreation, athletics, sportsmen, tactical, utilities, but I say also artists. What do you think? So here's the back. The only thing that I haven't tried on this is acrylic gouache, but I thought this would be a really good pairing because the gouache took so well and it doesn't seem to crack. Even with just, this is whole bind gouache right from the tube, and it's not budging from there, it's not cracking. I thought it would, but it's not. So I wanted to do something with this real quick, and I think I'm going to do that in a time lapse. Let me just make sure I got everything. I covered all the bases here. Oh, one other thing I wanted to show you. So I got this sketchbook from Sketchbook Co. shop, and I've been using these in between my paintings so that the smudges won't come through. So see, I've got a really dark one over here and a light one over here. It's really good for that idea, like keeping your paintings from smudging on each other. So that's something I've actually been using them for besides art. Well, it is kind of art based, but just honestly, there's so many things that you can do with this paper. Even using it as a palette for when you're on the go, when you're oil painting or doing a plein air, you can actually tear off a bit of this, and seeing that it's, it won't leak through, you could use it as a palette for when you're out on the go, and it's very lightweight. So, okay, have I sold it yet? So it's been fun seeing the weaknesses and strengths of this paper. It's really remarkable. I've never seen anything like it. But if it's been around for 100 years, and people have been using it. So, okay, so I'm going to get to this painting, and I'm going to do it in a time lapse. So I'm going to leave you here. I appreciate you taking a look and coming to see what I've done with this stuff. And so I hope you like the image I create, and we'll catch you in the next one. Take care.